In this week's episode, we showcase the best of South Africa's artistic talent, from beatboxing to optical illusion. George Avakian is a vocal artist of a different kind. The sounds he produces with his mouth are so unbelievably realistic, you would swear he is playing drums. Today, the art form initially disapproved by his relatives is making George a star. By simply making sounds with his mouth, he is performing for global audiences.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Bass, 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 bass. When I drop a beat, it goes.
He is virtually a human drum machine.
Let me hear all the singer ladies say.
The unique sounds coming out of George Avakian's mouth make him a one-man band.
This house music goes like this. You wanna dance? I wanna dance. You wanna?
He has mastered an art form called beatboxing, becoming one of South Africa's top performers of this genre.
Probably just this amazing gift, and he's mastered it so well as well that I feel like he's probably the best essays ever going to see.
George collaborates with the best in entertainment here at home and the rest of the world.
I did it with something as simple as making 3-4 little sounds out of my mouth. You don't need the money to have the instruments. You don't need the expensive software.
But there was a time this success didn't seem possible at all. George's family moved to South Africa from Armenia in Eastern Europe with very little money. At some point, they were so poor that they had to move in with Armenian friends in Johannesburg.
You're still quite young, you don't really get it. You don't understand the circumstances you've been placed into. But I think as you grow up, you kind of cherish all those moments, and you kind of appreciate the circumstances you were placed into.
During his childhood, George came across something that would transform his world. He loved listening to his father's records.
I don't know what it was. I would listen to music, I would hear it, and somehow I was able to take every single different sound in a song and sort of isolate every different song and put an image to it in my head.
With no money for instruments or music lessons, George's talent had to remain untapped for many years. But in 2004, while he was in high school, one of George's friends played him a track of a beatboxing artist.
All the other kids would listen to it and they would go, oh no, that can't be real. And strangely enough, I'd immediately picked up how he was making those sounds.
George became so intrigued with beatboxing that he would listen to it non-stop. He eventually found himself practicing sounds day and night.
The neighbors would call my parents and they'd complain, like, some kid's playing the drums and it's so freaking loud. And I was like, yes, they think it's drums. I'm getting better.
Word soon got around school that George was a human drum machine.
I was honestly mind blown. Nobody had ever done it ever. I'd never heard it the way he had done it. And yeah, I probably knew from then onwards he was going to be the best in SA at such a young age.
Throughout school, George built his fan base by performing shows to small audiences across Johannesburg. When he matriculated in 2008, his family thought it was time for university and that beatboxing should remain nothing more than a hobby.
We just literally brushed it off and were like, come on, man, just stop kidding yourself, man. This is not going to go too far.
I went against everyone else's decision and I decided I'm going to try this full time. I knew it was something as silly as making sounds out of my mouth, but knowing me, I just believed I was able to shape it into something else.
As George continued performing and promoting himself, this Sentin marketing company gave him an opportunity in 2009.
I was gobsmacked, like most people are, when beatboxing is not something common. I realized then that it was a unique talent and something he was very passionate about.
It was the beginning of great things as George began to travel and perform nationwide. The art form that most people thought was silly was now allowing him to share the stage with top local and global celebrities.
It became the professionalism, hiring the right team, scouting out some good people in the industry to come and work for my team, and just moved further and further.
With no lessons, the self-taught musician has become internationally recognized and runs his own entertainment company.
It comes down to you believing in what you're doing, and look, I've taken something that's so ridiculous. We're talking about like some guy making sounds out of his mouth and turn it into a business. At the end of the day, then anything else is possible if we think about it like that.
By simply making sounds with his mouth, he managed to start his own business. Incredible. Well done, George. As always, we appreciate your feedback. Against all odds at enca.com. You can also be in touch with us on Twitter and Facebook. After the break, imagination that is groundbreaking.